Number one, indicate whether the probability is theoretical, experimental, or subjective for each of the following cases. According to Christine, there is a 25% probability of catching a fish in less than an hour in Lake Huron. That's according to her opinion. Theoretical means you would actually have done an experiment, like, and you've caught 1,000 fish, you figured out that it takes less than a half hour to catch a fish. That would be experimental. This doesn't sound experimental, it just sounds like it's Christine's opinion. That would be subjective. Experimental would be you're looking at the actual probability of catching a fish. So you would take in all the variables into account, which is really hard to do. If you're rolling a die, you know that the odds of rolling a 6, well, there's only one 6 out of 6. So one outcome out of 6 desired outcomes, well, that's theoretical probability. Subjective is when it's kind of somebody's guesstimate. This would be subjective. The subjective probability is a type of probability derived from an individual's personal judgment or own experience about whether a specific outcome is likely to occur. It contains no formal calculations and only reflects the subject's opinions and past experience rather than on data or computation. It is opinion. This is subjective. B, there was a 1 in 13 probability of picking an ace out of a deck of cards. This is true. There are 52 cards in a deck. There are 13 cards in a suit. The probability of picking an ace is 4 out of 52, which reduces to 1 out of 13. That is theoretical probability. That is the exact probability. Mathematical probability is theoretical. C, the odds that a couple has twins is determined using demographic data. They mean like they're looking at demographic, they're looking at data collected of all the people who have children, how many twins are born. That is experimental. You've actually run the experiment. You've looked at the population of Canada, which is everyone being born. How many are twins in the population? So that is purely experimental. D, the probability of meeting a Hollywood star at the grocery store is relatively low. Well, yeah, it's true. That sounds like an opinion, though. Did somebody figure out how many Hollywood stars there are? How many people are there in the world? How many people are there in the grocery store? And then do the math. No, it sounds like it's somebody's opinion. Subjective. E, there is a 65% probability that there will be good weather on Monday. I disagreed with the book. When Environment Canada figures out that there's a 65% probability that there's going to be good weather on Monday, they're not doing that based on opinion. They've actually looked at the weather right now today. They've looked at the temperatures. They've looked at all kinds of different variables like airflow, which way the wind is blowing, the wind speed, wind direction, air temperature, air pressure, air humidity. And they take all of these things. They're looking at a mathematical model of the globe. So they're figuring out what the weather's going to be in 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, or 10 days based on this mathematical model. I'm saying that's purely theoretical. The book is saying, no, that's subjective. Could this be somebody's opinion? Yeah, it could be somebody's opinion. Subjective. Because we don't know what it's going to be like on Monday. Well, I disagree. I think that Environment Canada, they're running it through a big, huge supercomputer. All of these different things. And so the mathematical model that they're looking at is theoretical probability. I don't agree with the subjective thing. You could argue that this could be somebody's opinion. F, the probability that you will roll 2 dice and obtain the sum of 7 is 1 out of 6. So a sum of 7. All the values that add up to 7 are 1 and 6, 6 and 1, 2 and 5, 5 and 2. I'm holding up 4 fingers now. 3 and 4, 4 and 3. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 6 fingers. So it's 6 out of how many outcomes are possible if you roll the die twice or you roll 2 die. There are 36 outcomes. There's 6 for the first die times 6 for the second die, 36 outcomes. But 6 out of 36, which reduces to 1 out of 6. So this is the mathematical or theoretical probability. This is totally theoretical. And that is it for question number 1. Have a good day.